welcome to my October wrap-up and September TBR. I can never remember what books I've read, so I got my iPad to help me. I managed to read 10 books and one of them is actually a novella, and I'm currently on the 11th book. And I have one more day left, so I am pretty happy with how much I've read. First, I'm gonna mention the ebooks that I've read because I don't have them. The first was Wild Cards by Simone Alcalez, and oh my god, this book has to be the worst book of this month. I only read the first book in her Perfect Chemistry series and I gave that book 4 stars, but Wild Cards, I barely managed to finish it. It was so bad, cliche after cliche after cliche. This book was so bad, I skipped a lot of pages, I was frustrated, and I just didn't understand. Like, her Perfect Chemistry was pretty good, but I ended up giving it 1 star, but I don't even think it deserves 1 star, so. Next book that I read is Into the Still Blue. Now, Into the Still Blue is the 3rd and final book in the Under the Never Sky dystopian trilogy, and it comes out, I think, in January 28th of 2014, if I'm not mistaken. I love this book so much. It is my favorite out of the 3. I am quite shocked because I have lately been reading a lot of bad 3rd books in a dystopian, because authors seem to have this idea that in order for them to stay away from the cliched happily ever after, they've fallen into a cliche where dystopian trilogies have to end badly. Please, Mary Lou, please, Tahira Mafi, do not end the 3rd book in such a bad way or in a tragic way. I'm personally just sick of seeing dystopians end in such a sad and heartbreaking way. I was quite happy with Into the Still Blue. I feel like Veronica Rossi had a balance of the whole happily ever after while at the same time not it being too unrealistic. And the characters' action scenes were amazing. The character depth we get, I just love all the characters. I especially love Reef, and of course Roar and Perry, that's his name. Can't remember the girl's name. Is it Liv? Something like that, I'm not sure. But anyways, amazing ending to an amazing dystopian trilogy. The next book I ended up reading was Illusion, and Illusion is by Claudia Gable as well as Cheryl Clam, and this book comes out on March 18th of 2014, but because Edelweiss I had all of these available, I couldn't not pick up a book such as Into the Still Blue and now Illusion. I mean, they're all there waiting for me to read them, so I can't help myself. I can't. Illusion is really good. I gave it 4 stars. It took me a while to read it, but I don't blame it on the book. I blame it on me not having time. I really enjoyed the main protagonist. I did not like some of the secondary characters, but I do love the love interest, and the ending is pretty fantastic. A cliffhanger, but not that bad. And I really like the direction that the author took with the plotline and the story, so I'm happy for that, and I gave it 4 stars, and I'm excited for the next book, which is probably gonna come out in like a year and a half, but that's okay. The last ebook was actually the novella, and it is by Colleen Hoover, and the novella is Finding Cinderella. It is, I think it's like 1.5 of the Hopeless series, but it's about 2 of the other characters, the secondary characters in Hopeless. I did not like this. I didn't. I ended up giving it 3 stars, but there's Instalove there, so I mean, it's 100 pages. It's gonna have to have Instalove. But the way Colleen Hoover did it, it's not something I really liked, but it was okay overall. Moving on to my physical books, and the first book has got to be Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Cue music. Okay, now that I'm done with this, every time I think about this book, I feel like crying. That is all I'm gonna say. And I gave it 5 stars. But Veronica Roth, you broke my heart. Okay, so let me try to lift my spirits with the next books. The next book that I finally managed to finish was Just One Day by Gail Forman. This is Well, what is this? This is part of a duology. The second one's just 1 year, and it came out, I think, like 2 weeks ago, beginning of October. But just 1 year is told from the guy's POV, and I really had a tough time getting through this. Unfortunately, or funnily, is that the part sorry if the camera shook because it's on the bed, whatever. I did not like the day that she ended up spending with William. I always think there's an H to his name. I don't know why. Willem. I don't know. I feel like that part was a bit too forced. So I stopped as soon as the day ended, and then I stopped for a whole month. But then you guys have been telling me to, you know, pick it up and finish it and all that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna leave it like that. I mean, it was one of my most anticipated books of 2013. How could I not read it? Or 12, I think 13. I picked it up and I did not stop reading it until the next day, and I ended up finishing like the last 200 pages. I loved it. I loved the self-discovery. I loved that character development of the main character, who is called Allison, but Lola, I think, or something. Now this is gonna bug me. I want to know what she was called in the book.
I think she's called Lola. Was she called Lola? This time she's called Lola. Lola.
Does it happen for you guys when you're trying to find something but you can never find it, but if you don't want to find it and you don't care about it, it just slaps you in the face? Always happens to me. Always happens to me.
Always. Lulu.
Her name is Lulu. I was like, her name can't be Lola because Lola is from Lola and the Boy Next Door, and I'm pretty sure I would have made that connection. I'm not that dense. So I ended up giving it 4 stars, but I have decided I will not be reading Just 1 Year because I heard that it still ends at the same part, or like literally 2 seconds after the ending of this book. So if I already know what happens here, I'm not really interested in reading about Willem's side. I don't know, maybe I'll pick it up one day, but for now, I don't think I will. This thing keeps on falling. So annoying. Next book was Tandem by Anna Jorza, and this is a parallel world kind of book. Now that we think about it, I gave it 4 stars, but I don't know. I think like 3.5 would have been better for it because it's not that memorable. It was a bit hard to get into at the beginning too. Some of the things the main protagonist did or decided to do just frustrated me, and I just could not understand what she was doing or why she was doing the things she was doing, but whatever. It was still enjoyable. Parallel World fans, I would definitely recommend this one for you guys. So 3 more books. The third to last is second to last? Notable by Marnie Bates. This is the 4th companion novel to this series. Marnie Bates' books are the ones that you just read when you want just something fun and light and has no depth. But I mean, sometimes you do look for these kind of books. So I ended up reading it, and I think I gave it 3.5 stars, 3.5 or 4, I'm not really sure. But it was enjoyable, it was funny. Then I finally managed to read Storm by Bridget Kemmerer. If you guys remember, this was my book in a jar pick. And I'm so glad I finished it, but I still didn't read her book in a jar pick. So I'm gonna be bugging her about this for a while. So I ended up reading this. Unfortunately, I did not enjoy it as much as what people have been saying. I did not even enjoy it as much as my sister. I gave it 3.5 stars. I'm not sure if it's even worth that much. The romance here is so weird. It starts and then it stops completely with no sign of whatever, and then the last 2 pages, it's back again. I'm like, what just happened? Did I miss something? I guess not. The last book that I ended up reading, oops, don't fall guys, is Banana Splitville by Catherine Clark. This is the first book in this series, I guess ice cream series, because the first one's called Banana Splitville, the second one's called Rocky Road Trip, which I have, and it's here, the purple one. I wanted something light to read because I was waiting for Allegiant, and I didn't want something long because I don't like stopping books, except for Just One Day, that was an exception. It's sort of like told in a diary form, which is not something that I enjoy at all. But this one was really fun, and I might change my mind about the whole diary form kind of books. Again, another one of the books that has no real depth or, you know, stuff like that, just for fun. And I think I gave it like 3.5 or 3 stars. Oh, I already mentioned Allegiant. The last book is the book that I'm currently reading, and it is Unbreak My Heart by Melissa Walker. I am hoping that is the name. After Allegiant, I kind of needed a contemporary to detox or, you know, get over Allegiant, and I read most of my contemporaries, so I didn't have a lot of choices except for this one. And yes, it's by Melissa Walker, Unbreak My Heart. Since I'm showing this, I'm switching over to my November wrap-up, and I think at the beginning of the video I said September. Not really sure. November wrap-up? November TBR. Yes. I'm gonna focus on the rest of the review books, physical review books that I have, because we're getting some in the mail, and I'd like to get over some of these even though they're November, December releases. But the first one is actually an August release, and it is Gated by Amy Christine Parker. We got this from Random House Canada in like a big package as a surprise. So I kind of like put it in the back and like didn't really think about it, but a lot of people have been loving this book, and they've been saying that it's a fantastic post-apocalyptic novel. And I love post-apocalyptic novels, especially the one that Random House also sent me, which was A Matter of Days. I love that. It was by Amy Kaiser, I think, or something Kaiser, I'm not really sure. So this one, heard amazing things about it. It says, she thought the evil lived outside the walls. She was wrong. Do the gates keep the unchosen out or the chosen in? Definitely reading it this month, and it looks creepy, so next month, November. I don't know, I'm mixing up my months for some reason. The next book I'll be reading is coming out in December, and it is Pawn by Amy Carter, the author of the Goddess Inheritance, Goddess Test series, trilogy, whatever. I will be doing a review of this one because someone asked me to do a review. I will be doing mini reviews, a collection of like 3 to 4 books in one video. This will be one of them. So again, if any of the books that I showed you guys or I'm going to show you, you want me to do a review on, let me know below and I will definitely consider it. The next book is Control by Lydia Kang. This is sci-fi, a spiraling, intense, romantic read. Doesn't really say sci-fi here. I guess it's futuristic. It's set in 2150, a world of automatic cars, nightclubs with auditory ecstasy, drugs, and guys with 4 arms. This is about the human genetic mistakes that society wants to forget and the way that outcasts can turn out to be heroes. Again, this also comes out in December, and I'm really excited about it because it sounds like authentic, cool, futuristic, sci-fi-ish, sciencey stuff. So I'm hoping that the romance does not overtake it, because it says romantic read here in really big lettering, which kind of worries me, but we'll see. The next book I'll be reading is Starstruck by Rachel Schuchert. Now I have the sequel, Love Me by Rachel Schuchert, for review, and it comes out in February, so I think I already told you guys about this. I requested this. I think it's a good time to read it right now before all the other books arrive here, so that I don't get overwhelmed and again push this, because I've been pushing it for a while. But now I think it's fine. Three months before the previous one, that's fine. The next one, that's fine. So I will be reading this one. Other than these 4 books, I'm kind of open on what I will be reading next. I might just pick up the sequel of Starstruck, which is Love Me. If I really like Starstruck, I might just go right ahead and read Love Me. So that's 5 books. Other than that, I'm kind of open. I don't know what I want to read. Oh yes, someone asked me to do a review of Poison Princess. So I actually already have a bookmark here ready for me to read it. So I think I will definitely, hopefully, maybe if I could, pick this book up for this month. Other than that, those are 7 to 8 books. I completely forgot about Sentinel, but after reading Apollyon, I have been dying to read it, and it comes out on November 2nd. So this is going to be very high on my TBR list for November. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this rambling video. And I'm gonna go right now and watch episode 7 of Heirs. I've been waiting all week for this. So without further ado, bye guys.